Hello, my name is Wonsik Park, and this is my senior capstone project for Battlefield High School 2014 IT programming course. I'll be going over my quarter-long project that I was working on. The goal of this project was to learn something new. In this case, I chose a programming language called Lua. And to learn, I used Minecraft and tried to make a virtual store within it using the compiler Computercraft. Software design techniques I use are mostly algorithms. The example shown in this slide is what I used to check for if the touch on the touchscreen is within a boundary of a button. Another example is when the store ID comes within a range of the store, the ID will broadcast the owner's name, so the computers may display the owner's name onto the screen and bring up the computers. The code on the bottom left shows how the store computers will react once it receives the data from the store ID. The get-click method will constantly check if your clicks are within the boundaries, getting used to Lua, and touchscreen interactions for the store screens, multi-computer interaction to work as a whole, and saving data and reading it from a file, outside source, and an interaction with the APIs. The goals I set for myself for this project are that when computers detect a customer within the range of the store will automatically update with the name of the customer and the credit amount. There will be two screens that display merchandise that are sold and can be bought. Whenever these items are bought, they will be automatically updated, and credit will be calculated. And lastly, it will update the file that the data will be stored on. The first step I took is to make a GPS system to detect if a player enters the range of a store. You see 4 computers. The one on the left is directly above the left computer on the bottom right. The 4 computers work as a triangulation system to determine the location of other computers within the range of the 4 computers. The video shows the 3 computers under the store that have the GPS system running. The GPS API was found online on the forums and the wiki, and they are hosting the locations in XYZ format and calculate data and return them to the computers requesting their location relative to the store. Coming up is the actual code used to determine when an ID should broadcast the information to the store. That'll be on the top right of the slide. This is very similar to the algorithm shown before, and the top left or bottom left slide shows the store receiving the information and how it will react. Store receives the user's information. It will detect that through the OS pull event function. It will save the data received as event ID and message. The message will be processed as the name of the owner, and it will pull up the text file containing the credit amount of the owner with the name, and we'll put that on the screen with the welcome message. As you can see on the top left of the picture, it says welcome customer and my name David. The other 2 computers below it will display the options in red as to what you can buy or sell. Once you click on those buttons, it'll go through the two if statements that are shown right below the picture. That is how I determined the position of the click and if it was within the boundaries of any buttons. Soon I found the API that simplifies this stage and implemented it into the function. The code on the bottom left uses that function to make a table containing the name of the button, the function called, and the min and max x and y values of the buttons. Credit goes to Direwolf20 on YouTube for the creation of the API. When a user clicks on a button, it will flash green, called the update function, which will open the file, read the current data on it, and change the data with the current data plus however much credit needs to be taken away. So let's say you buy one apple, which costs 1 credit. The screen will flash green as it is shown, and it will take away 1 credit and save that onto the file. When it is a cell, it will do double negatives and add on to the credit and store that into the flat file again. By one is the function called when the button is pressed. The video shown now is the demonstration of the buying stage. As you can see, it says welcome David, and the credit amount, which is currently 1,000. I will now demonstrate the actual purchase. To go to the screen, you can right click on a button and it will update the screen with the current balance. As you can see, whenever a item is bought or sold, the button will flash green and amount of credit is added or subtracted to the current credit and displayed on the screen. This works with both screens, and these computers are connected with wires so they can communicate with each other on the credit amount of the customer. And you will not be allowed to go into the negative budget because of a if statement blocking any purchase while you are in anything below 0. The computer is in a constant check to check on the get click function. It will always make sure that any clicks you make are within the boundaries of a button, and when it is not, it will not do anything. However, when you are in a button, it will call the function necessary to continue with the work. So the final learning outcomes after the project was over is the mastery of Lua. I determined that Lua was very different from the programming language I've used before. It is very similar to pseudocode in a lot of ways and was easy to learn in syntax, however was very different from the styles of coding I had to do, making it very difficult. The second was the use of touchscreens. It was the basic use of X and Y coordinates and a while loop to constantly check if it was in a min-max of any X and Y of buttons. The third was the multiple systems working as a whole. It was the first time where I ever got to program multiple systems working as one. It caused a lot of trouble due to interactions bothering another computer when it was not supposed to. So that was the first step, but I was able to overcome it through multiple research. The heavy internet browsing tutorials helped me with the flat file. However, I was not satisfied because my original goal was to do a database system. However, in order to do a database system, I was required to host a web server to interact with it, which was out of reach in both time and resources for me. Lastly, I learned how to use APIs, which made code a lot more clean because did not have to repeat any lines of code, while I was able to simply call a function multiple times from different computers using an API. I was also able to use other people's code to help me through this project because of the previous work done by someone else on the API. Project management teach me many things. Mostly it taught me that overestimating things could cause me to slack off, thinking that I have enough time when when I got to new topics that I didn't know as much as other topics. I'll struggle and fall behind because I spent so much time working slowly on a project thinking I had enough time. Although also underestimating things such as debugging also killed my schedule. Next time I work on a project, I think I could clearly reflect a better schedule with less overestimating and underestimating. Also, I learned how tough it can be once you fall behind due to the snowballing effect um, that it produces. The credit goes to the YouTuber named Direwolf20. He created many Lua tutorials and computer craft tutorials. These are the tutorials he made for learning Lua. I used this after using Lua.org as my main source of knowledge. Uh, Afterwards, I found the button API on his channel, which helped me a lot afterwards. Um, and the other websites that I use are the Computercraft Wiki and forums. This is where I did a lot of research on specific topics, such as how to use touchscreens or how to save things onto the database or flat files. Thank you for watching my presentation on my senior capstone project. This was Wonsik Park from Battlefield High School.